Welcome back. Still tuned in to Salam Media. The time is 27 minutes past 9, and the show is steaming along quite nicely as we continue to get those reactions to last night's events. Almost 180 ballistic missile strikes that were catapulted into Israel by Iran's forces, and we're getting various reactions from, I can say different stakeholders of this conflict in the Middle East. We spoke to, someone in Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, and Yemen. And right now, we are still in Palestine, and we'll be speaking to Osama Nazzal, a journalist who's based in Jenin. Osama, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure having you on Salam Media. I really appreciate you giving us your time.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I think first and foremost, just a quick reaction from Jenin to last night's event. It was one that was very unprecedented, coming very, very unexpected and very aggressive from Iran. What did you make of it?
Yeah, like Gaza and other parts of the occupied Palestinian territory, Jenin has been paying a very, very expensive price for the Israeli occupation crimes and the Israeli every night incursions in Jenin since the 7th of October last year until now. We're talking about 157 Palestinians killed by the Israeli occupation forces, and Jenin infrastructure was almost completely destroyed by the Israeli bulldozers and the Israeli military equipment. So last night was different and was very special for the people of Jenin, because this is the first time since the Palestinian Nakba 1948 the Palestinians see missiles from an Islamic country falling over the Israeli occupation military bases, of which the Israeli warplanes take off to kill Palestinians and destroy Palestinian cities. Really, days ago, the people morals and the people spirits were very low because of what happened to southern Beirut and because of the continuing Israeli murder crimes against Lebanese and Palestinians at the same time, whether in Gaza or the West Bank. But last night, the Palestinians of Jenin and of all of Palestine began to know that the balance of power is a little bit changing, and Israel is not going to be the empire of which the Israeli prime minister and his political echelon are dreaming, as they think that they can reach anybody anywhere, and they are on their way to control the whole Middle East and shape the Middle East the way they want. Last night was a message that the Palestinians feel that hope should not be lost.
I wanted to take a quick ad break, but when we come back, the question that I have is: isn't there a fear now that the Israeli occupying forces are going to be a bit more aggressive and essentially punish the people of Palestine for Iran's actions? But we'll unpack on that a bit after this short break.
Okay.
With Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Valley's Motor Spares. We supply motor spares and accessories for all makes and models of motor cars, LDVs, bakkies, trucks, and earth-moving equipment. We deliver on time, every time. Please contact us via WhatsApp on 014-592-0925 or call 014-592-0925 or visit 28 Zenderling Street, Rustenburg. Remember the name, Valley's Motor Spares.
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
Dad, these Frymax chips are so tasty.
Wow, that really takes me back. My dad bought me a Frymax chips every day after school. They were my favorite when I was your age as well. Quality is at the very heart of what we do, and that's why we ensure that every Frymax packet is filled with the beautiful goodness and flavor-packed taste that you've come to expect from us since 1982. Frymax, from generation to generation.
Yasin Badat Financial Advisory. Are your financial goals feeling out of reach? Yasin Badat Financial Advisory is here to turn your aspirations into achievements. Our dedicated team, armed with a history of success, is ready to guide you through the complex nature of financial and investment planning. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the game, our personalized solutions cater to your unique goals and risk appetite. Trust in our commitment to transparency, integrity, and excellence. Ready to unlock a world of financial freedom? Partner with us today. Call Yasin Badat Financial Advisory at +27 33 346 2071 or visit www.yasinbadat.com. Yasin Badat Financial Advisory, guiding you to financial success.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Salam Media with myself, Salailo Makwidir, and I'm still talking to Osama Nazzal, a Jenin-based journalist, just getting reactions from last night's events, 180 ballistic missiles that were catapulted into Israel by the Iranian government and forces. And Osama, before you went into that short break, my question was, we saw all kinds of celebrations and jubilations in the streets of Gaza when, those missiles were flying over to Israel. But isn't there an underlying fear that the consequences of those actions will be felt directly by the people of Gaza and by Palestinians generally, and the Israeli forces are going to tighten the chokeholds that they already have on the people of Palestine?
First of all, we need to understand that Israel has never stopped murdering Palestinians, not punishing Palestinians, murdering Palestinians. We have more than 150,000 Palestinians killed and injured since the 7th of October. So Israel does not need any justification or any reason for continuing its genocidal campaign against the Palestinian people, whether they celebrate the fall of the Iranian missiles over the Israeli settlements or not. Just since today morning, Israel killed more than 64 Palestinians in Gaza and carried out many incursions into the villages and the refugee camps of the Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. And just yesterday, they killed 2 Palestinians in the nearby city of Nablus and abducted many others. So this is the systematic Israeli colonial policy against the Palestinian people, whether Israel is being struck or hit by Iran or not. And it won't change its policy towards the Palestinians until it gets a clear message that the Arab Islamic nation and the pro-justice people around the world won't keep silent on its crimes and won't keep just protesting and chanting slogans against genocide and against murder, but they will press their governments and their parliaments to take real action and impose sanctions against Israel to stop these crimes. So, yeah, it doesn't need a justification really to do what it's doing now to the Palestinian people.
And just taking a look at the Iranian government, their actions. A question that I've been getting a lot, speaking to Palestinians, they're feeling, why now? This incursion and aggression by the Israeli occupying force since the 7th of October, which has resulted in a genocide, essentially. Why wait now? Why specifically now? And number two, what was the intention thereof? How would you respond to these two questions?
First of all, Iran had done everything possible in order to avoid such kind of confrontation with the Israeli occupation entity, believing that the repercussions and the cost of this confrontation is going to be very high for the people of Iran and for the government of Iran, because we know of the Israeli military might and the support that Israel receives from the American administration, Britain, France, and other Western countries who have their military warships and their navies in the region, just threatening Iran that if you hit Israel, we will not stand silent or handcuffed, and we will help Israel. And we heard the statements by the American President Joe Biden yesterday and his military men warning Iran that this will have a lot of repercussions. So Iran did everything possible to avoid that, but Israel kept pushing Iran all the time to this point, as they killed Iranian scientists and the military leaders. They assassinated the head of Hamas Politburo, Ismail Haniyeh, in the presidential quarter of Iran. And the last crime was killing the head of Hezbollah, Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah. So they left Iran no way out but to respond this way, or Iran would appear as a weak and a fragile country in the region, the allies of which are being murdered and butchered by Israel, and it does nothing. But last night, it made change to the balance of power, and its message was clear. Now, what's coming ahead is not going to be easy, I think, and the worst is still on its way, as Israeli officials all the time threaten of a harsh blow to Tehran. The Americans are warning at the same time. So the whole region is living a state of turmoil and chaos, and the end result is really difficult to predict at this point of time.
And just lastly, do you think we have gone past the point of finding a political and diplomatic solution to the various conflicts happening right now in the Middle East? A ceasefire of some sort between Israel and Gaza. Are we past that point? Is an imminent destabilized Middle East awaiting all of us?
Really, now it depends. It depends on what might happen within the 24 or 48 hours to come. Israel does not understand the language of politics and the language of diplomacy. Israel believes in its military might and the support that it receives from the Americans, and it's going to continue bombarding Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, Yemen, and everywhere until it gets aware that it is not the only power in the region, and Iran can deter it and can threaten its security, and its people's lives are not going to be stable. If Israel gets this message, I think it will sit on the table of negotiations, accept a ceasefire, and reach a kind of compromise with the Palestinians and with the Lebanese. But as long as Israel believes that the Americans are on its side, even if it goes further than what it has now, I think that the language of diplomacy is going to be ruled out and Israel won't listen to anyone. So it depends on the second blow Israel might receive, whether from Iran directly or from Hezbollah in Lebanon.
All right. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. Jenin-based journalist Osama Nazzal just giving us his reaction. Thank you so much, Osama, for giving us your time. Really appreciate it. And I'm sure you and I will be speaking soon as the situation unfolds and the new developments in the Middle East.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. Painting a very, very bleak picture, but I think, in all honesty, it does feel like we are waiting an imminent total destabilization of the Middle East, and that we've went past unfortunately the point of diplomacy and political situation. So it's going to be interesting, as Osama said, how the next 24 to 48 hours pan out, because the Israeli occupying forces are saying Iran should brace itself and they'll regret the actions of yesterday or last night. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be having one of my favorite segments of the show is hashtag Fired Up, and this is by Imran Chunara, personal excellence mentor and CEO of Africa Muslims Agency, and the topic is changing your mindset. More on that after this.